Hello and welcome back to Apollo Justice, and now we're about to go on a rather lengthy investigation.
It's okay, we brought
I
Dejs
still have
out.
no idea what's going on.
You trust me, it's best you don't know.
Don't worry, Teo. That's not
Anyway, to Drew's studio.
For context, folks, Deji's a bit of a new Ace Attorney fan. I got him into the games as well, and
No, you did not.
Wow.
yeah, I did.
Please do not inflate your ego any more than it is.
It looks like a studio.
No shit, Apollo.
It's like life imitating art, or maybe it's the other way around.
Uh-huh.
Dude, that is so deep.
But the tape on the ground there, it's a bit jarring.
That's a police.
And if you look to
video.
the ground, you will see his latest creation, Dead Man Walking.
Dead man.
What if I told you that there was a victim called Dead Man?
God, that was... What the fuck was WWE thinking?
Apollo, look at all those paintings.
Don't worry,
Oh,
Pedro, they
she
retconned him.
completely
They
brushes off
retconned
and
him.
changes the subject.
Don't worry, Pedro, they retconned him back to being a dead guy.
Well, that was a stupid idea, you know it.
Hey, don't touch those.
It's okay, I'm just looking.
With
Well,
my
apparently-
hands!
Apparently the Undertaker himself was getting bored of just being a dead guy all the time, so you can blame him.
Eh.
Yeah, so to be fair, if that's the only gimmick you've been doing for like over almost
Yeah,
2 decades.
these three paintings had complete different styles.
Apparently,
Wait a
apparently,
minute.
I don't know for sure.
Huh? Apollo, look at this one.
It's
wrestling.
it's
It's
similar to
wrestling.
a
It's
Van
definitely
Gogh
he's
one.
trying to see said. Looks half finished. You can still see the rough sketch underneath.
No,
Well-
don't you see? Since this is Van Gogh ripped off, you can see that he was trying to paint the TARDIS to give us the message.
But that's odd, the roof part doesn't look like the rest of the painting at all.
A little odd.
Indeed.
Yeah, good point. That is odd.
Also,
He
I
said
do like
Apollo's
this theme
purpose is to
element.
echo Trucy.
Also, this theme.
Yeah, it's deep,
Yeah,
mysterious.
not- I don't know. There's something about it that's just
It's a
doesn't
bit
really-
weird.
Yeah, it's definitely weird.
It tries to be jazz, I can tell that.
Actually, fun
paintings
fact
are
about this
themselves.
music.
Oh, hang
though.
on.
Yes,
Yeah,
Dej?
Lisa?
Hold on, Dej, what about the music?
This is the music that plays every time a case begins.
Oh, it's
What?
Emma. Okay.
No.
Emma!
No,
long-time
the
listener.
trial begins. That's
yeah,
what
yeah, long time ago.
Actually, no, Dej. The theme for when a trial begins is completely different.
the case in general. Whenever you're starting a new
No,
chapter.
dead cheat. No.
But that didn't even... But Dej, Turnabout Serenade didn't start with that theme.
Oh, did it?
No,
No.
no
Oh,
one
wait.
started
with that
It's the I think it's the first case of this game. That's what I meant. Shoot.
Actually, no, I think
Anyway,
even that
let's
was
not-
different.
Let me
It's
check.
not even
Guys, we
important.
got an
Go
investigation.
ahead, Dojo.
I'll bet I know why you're here, too.
You know about the trial simulation tomorrow?
Oh yeah, haven't you heard? Everyone's been talking about it.
And of course,
The
I only learned about it today.
Except it's real.
Well,
except
it's
not,
part of our
except it's
tradition to have
real.
the defense attorney know only as soon as possible.
Yeah, I just read it. If you listen closely, this is a remix of the track that plays when all cases start. It's literally, yeah.
You mean the one we heard before the scene?
Yes, the Miss Sham Studio.
I'll need to recheck that. Anyway.
Just, you can listen to it right now.
Sure. Well, he was killed. The artist who owns the studio, anyway.
Oh, Jesus.
Mr. Drew Misham.
Misham? Whatever.
Mission?
Is that anyway?
It's not a pun, so...
Yeah, surprised. We didn't call you
For
something like painting all day or something.
And his daughter was put under arrest.
Oh, so that's the girl we found.
But
and
she's
there is
actually
the daughter.
Maya in
Here in
reality.
Mission, age 19. She's a client. Oh yeah, Emma's 25, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, we just saw her at the detention center.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny though.
It wasn't. It was depressing.
No, it's funny in a strange way, not funny haha.
She seems more like a victim than the kind of person who could commit murder.
Yeah, some weird black and white teddy bear came out of nowhere, remember?
Anyway,
That just-
Also, Maya looked innocent and, well...
yeah, she tends to be prime suspect number one. In fact, this is the first game where she doesn't get accused of murder.
That's because
she's not in the game.
Exactly. You can't get accused of murder if you're not in the game now, can you? It's the perfect alibi she's got.
Yes.
Not that she wasn't there.
None of Maya was accused off screen.
Poison's a common way to get the job done, and the murderer is a
Well,
woman.
It
How
was the
freaking
fifth case that had to
Jova,
be...
there's a problem though. That brings up a concern I have, Jova.
What?
Because she does have a background appearance in Investigations 2, if I remember correctly. So, does that
That was the
mean...
first one.
Both.
Was it both? Okay, both. Well, that's the thing, Jova. Does that mean that Maya is getting in trouble off screen while Edgeworth is doing his thing?
No, here's the
Possibly.
thing. Phoenix isn't around with her, so that's why.
Actually, Dead Phoenix is
Actually-
along with her in those.
Oh.
Yes.
Anyway, I'll just be over here with my snackies. I am legally not allowed to help you with this case, okay?
Can't talk to anyone related to the case this time around, so that's why we're talking to the detective.
You can't
Which
talk to
means
me
we're gonna find out-
officially.
Here at the scene. Okay. Unofficially, what's going on here?
Doesn't work that way.
It's not official,
Not official.
Not a fish.
because I said so.
So this, Drew Mission was some kind of artist?
No shit, look around you.
I mean, he could have been the cleaner.
Apparently.
Yeah, let's name our art studio after the cleaner.
He did a lot of illustrations for books, I hear. Had a lot of female fans, too, for what it's worth. So,
Didn't
wait, hold on.
ask you that.
So, boy,
That's unspecific.
in that case,
I'm
though...
guessing you were one of them, Emma.
Not really.
Oh, well, I guess his stuff is kind of pretty.
Well, in that case, then, wouldn't there be a lot of suspects, then?
Oh, fangirls.
Like that oil painting over there, for instance.
Which one?
Yeah.
Just pretend we're pointing to someone.
Yeah, I don't think Emma's that impressed.
Look, last time I drew a picture, it wasn't exactly for the best of circumstances. It really traumatized me. That wasn't one of his illustrations, by the way.
2. I'm detecting an enemy presence dead ahead.
Huh?
I know you can't see it, but imagine that it's there.
So it was a standalone painting or something? Is that what she means?
Maybe if I had to consider different styles, I'm guessing he was having some sort of school of painting. Maybe.
He was an odd bird, Misham.
Yeah.
Hadn't shown his face to anyone until the end. Yeah, it
Oh.
was kind of a sham if you ask me.
Ha, get it?
Some
Because that's
people are
his last
shy.
name. Miss Sham, ha, ha. Get it? No? Okay.
What do you mean, to anyone?
Oh, the
Except
press.
his daughter, except his daughter, obviously.
He
well,
was
maybe
always
his
locked up
wife,
here in this studio, apparently.
But then how did
Oh.
he manage to get his online shopping done without coming into contact with them?
His only connection to the outside world?
Was that door?
But...
Was 4chan.
The poor soul. It was through letters he put in that letter box there.
Your painting is bad and you should feel bad. 0 out of 10.
God, imagine if your only connection to the outside world was 4chan of all things.
Do people still write letters?
Yes! Yes, we
Apollo,
do.
you people use antiquated cell phones in the future. You have no
What
right
do you
to tell
mean,
us things
Apollo?
about letters.
Ah, I thought that was something Dwibs was actually asking, my bad.
No, I was in character. That
Yeah, that was a line.
I mean, when was the last time you wrote a real letter?
Be quiet, that's why.
Don't most people use email and stuff these days?
I'm surprised that exists in this universe.
Yeah, that's exactly like I can imagine with this particular technology we use still fax.
Not
Faxes.
In the
Mr.
same
Misham.
universe that
Any
takes place
earlier,
in
and
the
they'd
late
used
70s.
carrier pigeons.
Not Mr. Misham. Couldn't stand technology, it seems.
Of course.
He did everything by mail.
So at least these kind of channels any possible suspects to a specific way.
Maybe he thought that way was more artistic, you know?
Or maybe
I
it was just
guess.
pretentious that way?
Okay, there's one thing that I do appreciate in this case is that Trucy's not a complete waste of space this time.
Well, that's because Turnabout Serenade is well behind us now.
Thank you.
In any case, the only person besides him allowed in here
Yes,
Is
his
us.
daughter.
was his daughter, Vera.
Dare I say to ask what happened to the mother?
She's
I think we'll
she's
establish an
Disney
order.
syndrome, I got it.
she's
you
Madame
mean
not
the
appearing
killer?
in this. She's Madame not appearing in this movie. Good game, sorry.
Also, you're jumping the gun a bit there, Trucy.
The suspects, please.
Thank you, Apollo.
Yeah.
We took some fingerprints, of course.
Can imagine
No one ever
you
told
could
you
do
it's
with
rude to speak with your mouth full.
The only ones found in the room were Mr. Misham's and Vera's, basically.
Well, of course.
Well, that's the thing, though. Apparently, this is a guy who never left his house, so...
So
Basically?
either the killer had gloves or it really is someone.
That's a thing, though. How would someone have gotten in?
And how would someone have gotten out?
And
That's
actually, last night...
It was a go.
No, it was a haunted shopping list. Gosh, get it right.
Mr. Misham gave an interview to a reporter for the first time.
Oh,
Who Tia will be voicing.
okay.
I thought I was voicing the reporter.
Now we changed that around, actually.
Oh wait,
It happened during the interview, apparently. Remember the second cast revision we did?
no.
His first interview ever.
It was months ago, I don't blame you for forgetting.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened the night of the murder? Unofficially.
If you still want to voice him, though, I guess we can do it that way.
Well, if it doesn't appear in this part, we can always decide it off screen.
So, this woman, Vera,
She looks very.
she's Mr. Misham's daughter, right? Apollo, we just told you like a minute ago.
Yep, a real sickly girl, ever since she was little. Hardly ever went outside.
Well, with that role model, I can't blame her.
Apparently, she gets very sick easily.
She did kind of give off a withdrawn sort of aura.
That or it's paranoia.
So I know some film or it was a film called Paranoia.
She was homeschooled by her father, apparently.
A lot of apparently is being thrown around in this case.
It was quite a scene when they took her to the detention center.
Can you imagine? Oh boy.
One of the few
Yeah.
times you're going outside and you're going to jail.
She was screaming about how she'd die if they took her outside.
Oh yeah.
That does sound like quite a scene.
She kicks, too. In the end, she agreed to leave if she was allowed her good luck charm for company.
The sketchbook or whatever she was holding.
Her good luck charm?
Maybe.
Seems a bit big for a good luck charm.
Apparently, she has this charm that magically gives her the courage to go outside. It's a weird-looking mask, though.
Leaves her.
Why can't I ever get a normal client?
Are you new to this franchise, Apollo?
Normal people don't exist in this universe.
I don't know, I mean, the first turnabout seemed to be a normal killing.
Yeah, a normal, like Emma wanted, a normal, straightforward killing in this country.
I mean, it was literally just a guy who happened to murder a woman because she caught him while he was burgling her home.
Anyway, oh, okay, we got the poison from the coffee.
Oh, hey!
So, about the poison.
Nope, not precisely. Besides, if we did poison in coffee, that would be just like Trials and Tribulations.
Yeah, and we can't be like that game now, can we?
Even though it feels like we're trying to at times.
Not precisely. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's admittedly
mean,
part of the
see for
issue I
yourself.
do have with Apologists, is that
Yeah.
you can tell at times they're definitely trying to replicate the success that Trials and Tribulations had, because, yeah, that game was loved and all. Like I said, last night was the first
I think that can be said about the trilogy, the 4 through 6 in general. It
Oh,
tries
yeah.
to replicate the
Yeah.
success of the original.
5 and 6 thankfully had a better idea with it. Like, I could see why 5 tried to replicate the trilogy feeling, considering how, after Ace Attorney 4, there was like 5 years for any game for people in the West.
And it just so happened he died the night of his first interview.
Shit happens.
At around 9 o'clock p.m. every night. Vera always made him a cup of coffee.
Ew.
Also, he has a banana mug.
Last night, he drank his usual coffee and suddenly became violently ill.
And died?
No. He,
How bad was that milk? She poisoned him on the night of the interview. Wouldn't the reporter see?
He wasn't near Mr. Misham when she brought her father his coffee. He was checking out some equipment in the back of the room. Huh. Maybe
Yeah,
he
like
did
2
like some
fire
technology.
extinguishers.
Supposedly, that's why she didn't notice he was there.
I know, but you see, Jover, that's art technology, so...
Just works.
It was the reporter who called the police, in fact. Okay, actually looking back, I'm mistaken. Yeah, actually, Dwibs, you're right. You're the one voicing the reporter.
Yeah. Wait, but why is she the suspect?
Because she's the only other person allowed in here, apparently.
Yeah.
It's the reporter!
Well, this is the closest we get to closed room murder, in this case.
Oh, it pretty much is a locked room murder, actually.
Yeah.
Well, the reporter never got near Mr. Misham's coffee.
I already know the
Even
solution.
Vera acknowledges that.
I know the solution. It was Gene Loring using Ray Palmer's technology.
Regardless, I want to know more about this reporter.
So we know for certain the reporter couldn't have done it. Even Vera has verified.
Hey, Shiroi, I know who the reporter is.
Who?
Is that Peter O'Hanran?
Oh, it's not a banana
That's the
mug.
victim's coffee mug.
What is that supposed to be?
I
A
guess
cup of proper
mustard.
coffee in a
mug.
proper coffee cup.
Ceci n'est pas un... I
So
forgot
it's
the name.
brown sludge in a cup. Wow.
So the poison was in there.
Add
Please
some milk
don't-
and sugar and drink your coffee.
Yeah, don't diss the coffee, Dwibs. It's important. Please.
Coffee
Yes, it
sucks.
is.
I can diss it as much as I like.
Sure you can. But, Dwibs, the guy who made coffee is probably making a lot more money.
The British person who, the guy who's
Really helps
British
out.
and drinks tea? What a shock.
He's just still
Hey, I
sad
like
about...
my tea and my coffee. I need a coffee in the morning.
Dwibs is just still salty because we dumped plenty of his country's tea in the Boston River.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Although, to be fair, it's Boston. No one really likes Boston.
No one really liked the tea. Perfect. Well, I guess we would have liked the
Even
tea if it
parents'
wasn't
prep says
overly
that Boston is
taxed.
a boring city, so yeah, kinda agree.
What?
Granted, me and Jova are New Yorkers, so we should be the last people to be criticizing.
I mean, New York's great and all, but...
No. The joke is Yankees.
Exactly.
Besides, you guys just took the names of some of our towns and cities and put new in front of them.
Also, Dead, I guess we have to stop bad-mouthing the Cubs now.
No, we can always continue bad-mouthing them.
But how, now that the impossible became possible?
Yeah, they won one World Series after how many years? Yeah,
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I actually noticed this one too. What's
Hey.
that painting hidden behind that?
There's a painting hidden back here.
It's a painting within a painting.
It looks too also inspired by Van Gogh.
Hey, you're right. Why are you doing that?
Don't you mean Van Gogh?
I don't know, Joe, how it's pronounced in English, but we keep the G, the final G.
Okay, in America, the G and H are... Well, the G's silent.
What if it's embarrassing somehow and he... Oh my god, he's drawing fan art.
You certainly seem pleased by the possibility.
He drew over
Well,
his
his only
fan art.
connection to the world
Oh.
was 4chan, so...
Oh.
It's so... normal.
Well, it's similar to the one that
something
we
to
saw
get mad about.
before. Yeah.
Trucy wanted to see some weird shit, apparently.
Show her some Picasso, then.
Huh? What is it, Apollo?
Yeah, it's almost identical to the previous one, only that this one is finished.
Well, doesn't this painting look like... never mind.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
never mind.
even
Moving on.
what even is about a man squatting near a river and there's some sort of
There's a
nail?
flower growing in it. So
I thought that was a snail.
Yeah, as a
I
nail
better get a
down.
professional opinion on this. Was there anyone in the original trilogy who was good with paintings?
Larry.
Yeah, Larry. Hey!
That's cool,
turn-
Larry.
It turned out that he was actually pretty good at art, and he'll finally stick with that, hopefully.
Let's take a closer look at this desk here.
Well, that drawing wasn't as terrible as I expected it to be.
Oh, and the...
Here's
Oh,
a Bible.
oh yeah. Also, let's not forget, Phoenix did take art in college. So I guess technically you could maybe show it to Feeny?
Oh, I kind of know how to do that.
Yeah, Iris could if she ever gets out of jail.
Yeah. Whoever makes the next Ace Attorney game, please remember that there are still characters we're waiting to see return.
And then she reappears and then she reappears and then doesn't appear in most of the game.
Hey, look, just get her to marry Phoenix and do that character arc thing.
The glue melts and it opens. Cool, huh?
Or you could just use an envelope opener, you know.
Depends, Tio, if
I'll
you
be a
want...
heathen and just rip
Depends,
it open.
Tio. If you don't want your parents to know you've opened the letter, that's when you have to get a bit creative.
Dwibs?
No, Shuri.
You're right. Looks like they just ripped it open and stuck it back together. See? Heathens.
I wonder.
Huh?
Also, I love how that stick figure is doing the objection pose.
Stop pointing at that. It's rude.
It's trying to make contact with the great ones.
Oh, 7 years again.
Well, that's some old mail.
Why would someone open a letter, then seal it again?
Because
Because it was very special. I better hang on to this. Also, totally not unofficially taking this for evidence.
He's just taking a photo of it. See, it's still in the drawer.
So, this is Drew Mission.
And this little girl must be Vera.
Yes. They took that some years ago. They look close. A happy little family.
okay, what happened to the mother?
Until you arrested his daughter.
Hey, look, my parents died in a car crash, okay? I'm not going down that road. Besides, he's kinda dead. Wait a minute. What have I done? Look, I was personally against that, okay?
Don't worry, I'm sure she'll be in good company with your sister.
Oh god, I pulled a gumshoe! That's what the office is calling it nowadays.
Uh-huh.
Even when he's not around, he's being tortured.
Yes.
Now that Gobs is doing the torturing now, he's getting his payback. Is this...
So he learned
journal?
from Franziska.
I mean, going off of the end of a certain game, Dwibs may or may not be right, but we still don't know.
Wow, talk about a clue. Let's read it.
Read it, read it, read it. Eventually.
Sometime.
Sorry about the long pauses, it's just, well...
The suspension.
What is it, Apollo?
Getting shy?
I love it. Fuck.
He needs his glasses. He didn't write the name of the killer, did he?
That'll be way too cliche.
Nah, it's new. He didn't write a single line.
Oh.
Oh, what's the freaking point of that?
Ah, there may be a point to that, though.
Why am I asking that? I recorded this.
Alright, you had me going for a while there.
No, it's ARG!
She's not a pirate.
A pirate doesn't say, alright. A pirate says ARG. Anyway, let's present, of course.
The badge.
I mean, might as well.
Well, actually, no. Wait, am I? No, actually, I'm going to present the painting. I think I've already presented the badge to Emma.
Well, not in
Oh,
this case.
Oh, Emma, I was wondering about this painting here.
Also, I gotta say, I miss being able to present profiles. Those were always fun. Oh, that's right, yes, with this game comes the death of presenting profiles. Never got why.
What about it?
Nobody really complained about
I
that.
guess they wanted to make it more streamlined, but
You can
I
get a
don't
lot
know.
of funny dialogue out of those.
Yeah.
I think we should reach like a compromise in a sense of presenting the profiles on the investigations days, but not during the trial days, unless it's very specific.
Take a closer look at it, both of you. Now, look at this one.
Now back to me. Now back to the painting. Now back to me.
This is the third painting he was working on.
You know, the extra weird thing is like, well, they bring back the mechanics from Rise from the Ashes, but get rid of the mechanics that people love from 2 and 3.
Weird.
Hey, they're the same.
Ooh. I was hoping you wouldn't find that. Gosh darn it, now it's gonna make my job in this simulation all the more harder. You're right, though.
Plot twist, this entire case is a simulation of Apollo and Truth. This is like the holodeck on Star Trek.
You're not wrong. Well, you may be onto something. What am I saying? You've already played this game.
Actually, this case is kind of like a bit like Star Trek Enterprise. It's the finale, and yet it's a simulation, and it gets hijacked by original trilogy characters at some point.
Also, Trucy, plagiarism is not pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as bad as Star Trek Enterprise's ending, but still.
I mean, at least he didn't trace it.
Emma, about this.
Hmm? I don't know, that doesn't exactly look eatable.
Yeah, the address is,
Oh,
mission.
that! Yes, why, that's a bright red envelope.
See, Canada, California, there we are. This is definitely in the United States.
Well, conveniently enough, there is actually a Japanese district in California.
She sure is jumpy.
Someone opened this, didn't they?
Yeah, obviously.
My lips are sealed.
You opened
Oh.
it, didn't you?
Of
God
course.
damn it.
You thought it was a bag of snackers, so you opened it.
Your lips are sealed? That's a first.
Why is no one telling Apollo anything?
Well, sure,
'Cause
Roy, that would
the
ruin
butler-
part of the game. I mean, the trial simulation.
You mean You know what's inside the envelope?
Sure, I read it, after all.
Tell me, please!
Read it yourself, Apollo. You have it.
You have eyes. You're not blind. And no, I'm not still letting you making a fool out of me for that go.
Ah, you mean you were the one who ripped this open?
It was I who ripped open the envelope. I'm gonna mean cold.
Ha! Please. I would have steamed it open. I'm a professional after all. Hey, Dej. Oh, never mind then. But she did sneak a peek at it, apparently.
But she did sneak a peek at it, apparently.
Don't worry, I already covered it. Know that I have a powerful weapon on my side.
You're
Almost.
right.
Science.
Are you sure about that?
Including my amazing metabolism.
Okay.
Weapon?
Aside from my gun.
Have we ever seen Emma with a gun?
All the
Oh
police have
shit,
guns.
Emma's packing heat.
I
Yes.
wouldn't trust Emma with a gun, honestly.
The use of tools. Highly specialized tools for information gathering.
Tools I wouldn't mind getting my hand.
Does that fit in your pocket?
Well, I learned this trick from Mr. Wright, actually. He calls it court record.
You should
But
try
I know that
flattering
trick
her,
too.
Apollo.
I know that trick too.
They say a little praise can open big doors.
I can hear what you're saying.
Now's not the time to ship, Trucy.
Never heard that one, but it's good advice. Let's try talking to her some more. That way we can fuel Dwibs' fanfiction.
Oh yeah, that's
Yes.
right. A lot of people do ship Apollo with Emma. I can see where they're coming from, though. I personally prefer shipping...
here we are, the badge. Emma, I was wondering if you could take a look at this.
Not bad. It's a little
Not to
smaller than Mr. Wright's, though.
Not to mention, Emma's got a much better ship in SCWRM anyway.
Oh, you ship them too? So do I.
Mm-hmm.
I ship her more with that guy than I do... Poor Emma, before she also got shipped with Clavier.
I mean, that does make sense.
It sadly does, but I prefer the ship with her and you know who.
Oh no, let's be real. The way that her bickering with Apollo, they sound like a married couple.
Somehow I knew she'd get around to science.
She is very tsundere for Clavier.
I bet Emma could help us out here.
Emma is just so bitter in this game.
Well, I mean, she was trying to get her dream job. She went all that way, and she's failed. She's stuck in a job she didn't want. I can get her being bummed.
Maybe she should get good at her job.
Yeah, that is part of the hypocrisy.
We'll
Thankfully,
call
that's
the
what
dummy.
Ace Attorney said.
No, I mean, not
Oh,
get
guys,
good.
guys.
She failed the exam because she was
Hold on,
incompetent.
Ledger.
Huh? What are you two whispering about?
Well, I was thinking... oh god, I'm hopeless.
Yes, you are.
I mean, what is it we always do when we run into you at a crime scene?
Oh, don't try to court a woman anyway. You wouldn't make 10 steps out that door with her.
That's not her I'm after. What is it we always do, scientifically?
We analyze, we take apart, and then we separate the wimps from the jocks. Ah, you know me too well. Okay.
Wait, who did you mention me with again, Emma, earlier?
Never mind.
Whatever. Okay, meaning we can get, scientific now?
Oh, I suppose. Just this once.
Oh.
1 point for shipping.
You know, okay, this is the perfect way to get Emma to go on a date with you. Promise there will be a lot of fun and science.
Well, you can find science in anything, so, sure.
Is that how you plan to get her in bed?
What's the worst that could happen?
Scientifically speaking, there is a 75% chance that you may be with child.
I wouldn't mind.
And that's even assuming you don't run into a mantis type of woman.
Oh.
Let's present the red envelope. Emma, about this.
It's red. Oh, but that! Yes, why? That's a bright red envelope. Didn't I tell you this already?
Yeah, I can't lie to you. She sure is jumpy. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Oh.
I'm getting serious deja vu here.
Looks like we're skipping dialogue.
Knowing that I have a powerful weapon on my side. Yeah, well. Yes, this user tool is highly specialized tools for the user information gathering.
Emma, slow down, please.
Slow down, you're getting an orgasm. Sorry.
Never heard that one, but yeah. About that, yeah, see, we ask her again. About that envelope we found.
Ask me again. What's different this time?
I was wondering if you could help us out with that tool you just mentioned a second ago.
Which tools? These or these?
The printer one.
You want to know about my tool, do you?
I brought a tool
I'm
myself.
not even gonna
It's
comment
called
on
an
that.
X-ray analyzer.
You just carry X-ray analyzers in your pocket?
She just can.
X-ray? Like the X-rays you get at a dentist?
Dentist. Son be a dentist.
That's right. At least that's what I call it.
Huh?
It has a real name, but it's much more complicated. The X-ray spectralization.
The X-ray spectralization device.
You'll forget it in 5 minutes.
Something. How am I supposed to remember all that? Okay.
You see, Emma, that's why I'm at your side. I always try and help you remember.
I guess. That is one thing. I do like when Emma's more playful side does get to come out during this game. Thankfully, there's a certain other game that does that even more.
So basically, it lets you see inside things.
Yeah, you kind of
Like
suck at
me?
being fake with that, alright?
Well, she does appear in Investigations, Dej.
She was originally supposed to be the main character. They're like, nah, make it Edgeworth.
Yeah, poor
Edgeworth's more
Emma.
popular anyway, so.
But it's a bit more complicated than that. In practice, of course. Also, chronologically, that game's before this one, so it's thankfully not spoiling any events from either game.
Timeline-wise, where is Investigations 2 set place in?
Oh, Investigations 2 happens literally a week after the first Investigations game.
Okay.
And trust me, a lot of crazy stuff happens in those.
Can I try it out, Emma? Please?
No.
I'm thinking.
She's pondering.
What? Come on, Emma. How could you deny that?
Oh, I suppose. But only because she's the
She's
daughter of the
so
man who proved me
generous.
innocent of killing the man. Of course, I've already checked out everything suspicious myself.
Alright, let's give it a spin, Apollo.
Spin to win.
Yeah! What are you doing?
Ugh.
Oh, just seeing if I could see through your hair. But it's like lead.
Yeah, X-rays.
Point that thing at me anymore and it might all fall out.
Yeah, X-rays have some heavy radiation on them.
Yeah.
Well, Apollo, hopefully no damage was done.
Then I wouldn't need an X-ray machine to see through it.
Trucy, I don't remember the
Also,
tagline.
she tried. Hold on. She tried to X-ray analyze his head, so basically his skull, and she found only lead.
Trucy, I thought.
So-
Trucy, I thought the tagline was "Justice is blind, not bald."
Does that mean Apollo is actually US1?
Oh my god, maybe.
A lottery ticket. Did Emma win?
I don't think so.
You see the sample in the device like so?
Set. I don't see anything.
Exactly!
I thought justice was blind was just an expression.
Patience, there's no need to get all antsy. Unless that x-ray machine did some damage to your brain. Look at the right side of the screen. That's the layer view of the envelope.
Lawyer view?
Layer view.
Lawyer view.
When Apollo is in danger, deactivate his secret lawyer view.
You've got it set to display the outside of the envelope now, see? Actually, it's quicker to just have you give it a try.
Oh, thank God, I felt like I was actually watching a YouTube video on my iOS. Yeah, just twist the dial.
That's right. That's how you choose what depth you want to scan.
Yeah, just turn the dial, and then when something comes up on screen, just rub it, and then you'll get more info.
See? That's how you can read the letters on the ticket inside. Cool, huh?
Just don't miss one, otherwise you'll have to go back and try and get it again. Except I can't read them.
Just turn the dial a little more. What you have to understand is that a sheet of paper isn't really flat at all. When you zoom in that much, you see that the paper is like a bunch of hills and valleys.
True.
Welcome to paper lessons with Emma Sky.
Yes.
Wow, really? Well, it's like
Indeed.
cardboard box lessons.
Isn't
Yes.
science amazing, kids?
You know, this could have meant that you could have just turned this into a science educational game.
This X-ray device uses a beam with a wavelength of only
I don't trust this
0.05
series to be
microns.
educational.
It breaks cards down into thin layers, so it can only show what's written on that layer.
Yeah, I mean, not even the Mario game could make for educational. So what hope does anyone else have? I'm not entirely following you, but what good is it if you can't read anything?
That's why we go on to step 2.
You're so impatient, Apollo.
Yeah, you gotta learn this stuff. Try rubbing the image a bit, if you would.
Sure.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry.
Anyway, let's give this screen a little rub. There we go.
There's something
Yeah.
written there.
That fixes the image on the screen. Now, turn the dial again just a little. Good. Now you can rub this image to fix it up, too.
I swear, 1/3 of this part is this tutorial.
Hey, I get it. We just keep doing this until we've got the whole thing.
Very good, Trucy.
Exactly. Not bad.
Neat. Let's do some more.
Can I please do this? I haven't got all day. All
Well, you have to know how to.
Oh, Emma won.
0007.
Emma won something apparently. Ah, there we go. 0007.
Big winner.
You're the big wiener.
Oh. We're away from
I
that.
think he's dead at this point.
Oh, Jesus.
No, dead. Damn.
He's mostly dead.
I mean, he wasn't that old, Jova, so unless he had like a heart attack.
I don't know.
Okay, I think I've
I mean, Jova, you Americans do know that clowns are not supposed to be sad like in the Pagliacci opera, you know?
Depends.
Yeah,
And let's not forget, too, we established that he is of Italian descent.
You know what my favorite thing is? When Nintendo created that ARMS character, Lola Pa, they said the director of the game said that the original concept arts were apparently scary for Americans, and then he said, "Looks like we know what Americans' weaknesses."
Oh,
Anyway.
one.
Woohoo! I'm a big winner.
How old are you, Trucy, again?
15, I think.
Sorry,
No one
Trucy.
likes you,
You have to wait till next year.
Hey, plenty of people like Trucy.
I just remembered I turned
people are
16
wrong.
today.
Happy birthday.
See? This is the true hidden power of my weapon. Neat, huh?
Science.
Now, let's try it out on the real thing, shall we?
Alright, scanning. There we go.
Alright, let's see
Okay,
what's written.
Let's go through this bit by bit. Just gotta do it real slow. I don't want to miss anything. Got it there. Just give it a little rub. Do the Dwibs tactic of just rubbing everywhere and hoping it will come on faster.
I kind of prefer the
Stylus.
defossilization mini game from Fossil Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had no weaknesses, Tio.
Looking forward to showing you guys Champions. Champions is a way
Let's
revitalized
see.
sequel.
Drink, and then it turns out, drink your Ovaltine.
Also, I
Go
gotta
Where'd you get that
son
code
of a
from?
bitch.
Also, I gotta say, I'm surprised that Nintendo actually seemed to still be respecting that Fossil Fighters as a thing, even in Smash Ultimate.
Really, Mr.
They got even a
Mr.
music
100
track from it and a spirit.
100,000.
Oh, here we go.
Emma, please, I'm trying to read.
Okay, let's print this one out.
Wait, what is
Get out
Fossil
the way.
Fighters anyway?
Oh, Fossil Fighters is a
It's the Dream
Nintendo
Mission.
IP,
I
basically.
deposited the $100,000 in the designated account. Please send a receipt once you've confirmed the transfer.
Oh, money.
So they won the lottery or something?
Someone deposited $100,000 into Mr. Mission's account.
Huh, there were free games. Interesting.
His paintings must be really valuable.
$100,000. That was enough to fund, I don't know, the catering for the developers of Shenmue 3.
Care to take a look?
You bet I do. If you're going to read someone's mail, you might as well read it all.
Oh, here
And how
goes
do
with
with
the
that,
second
I
Nice
guess?
to
page,
see
then.
Trucy has standards.
Phoenix
Anyway,
has been such a great role model.
Indeed,
Scan
I
some
have.
more. And there we go. Part 1. Is it in Morse code or what? Bit more.
Hmm.
Come on, get off there. Just twist it again.
Okay, sign the
Okay, I can read
paper
it now. It's just gonna.
and send
get
in
a
the
lot
enclosed
better.
instruction book
Yes.
within 3 days. And
That
not
isn't the
remind-
printers. Sign the papers and send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. I need not remind you to speak of this to no one.
Hmm.
Oh, that sounds
I wonder what this
inviting.
could be about.
I need not remind you. However, I will still talk about how much I do not need to remind you of it.
Oh,
Sure.
sorry. So it was a letter about payments for one of his paintings?
Why all the secrecy, though? Well, Apollo, we have established that Drew Mission was a bit of a
Not yet.
recluse.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
We
true.
kind of like hide a bit.
And
And what?
why was this letter the only one in here?
True, if he had a lot of fans, shouldn't there have been more?
Unless he burned them all.
Maybe.
It's 7
And
years
make
old,
confetti
right?
out of them.
Still, he burns them all, but leaves the one that's 7 years old.
True.
Maybe it had some special significance to him.
Yeah.
Well, 7 years.
What could have happened 7 years ago?
Well, Emma?
It's not like the game is hammering in our head with something
Yeah,
really important
that's
happened
what-
7
it's
years
like
ago.
DL6.
Apollo Justice, 7 years in the making.
You know, at least with DL6, I think that thing started like... Okay. Here's the thing. With DL6, we constantly got hintings at it, because DL6 was the reason for the events of Turnabout Sisters. But it was never... Okay, it was named, sure, but not constantly in a way where we were absolutely certain it was gonna come back. Like, it was actually kind of a shock when it did come back in Turnabout Goodbyes, but that was when it was the main theme of it. Whereas with
You mean the last case of Ace Attorney 1, right?
the second to last case, Deji. Well, in the DS version.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like,
Turnabout Goodbyes.
the one that everyone cares about.
What's that blue splot there, though?
I don't know. You're the one recording. You should go after it.
Could be no.
Is that-
What's Sam?
Oh,
Poison?
I get it. It's that life juice from Last Guardian. Shutakumi
look
just
there.
predicted that.
But they must have made it terribly wrong because
Wait.
it
Well,
killed
actually,
the-
Jova,
I see no butterflies.
Wait,
so-
the last-
actually, Jova, that's not that thing, because remember, at the time that this game was being made, The Last Guardian was also already in development as well.
Hence
Did
why I
we-
said
did
Shutakumi
we see
predicted
that?
it. He's the prophet.
That must be the Blue Mountain stuff we've been hearing about.
Or maybe he visited Sony's Japan studio and checked it out there for himself. I don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, we see a lot of developers visit each other. Like that one time Shutakumi...
I mean, tells me that even Blue Mountain coffee isn't this blue.
Like, believe it or not, I believe there was a time where Shutakumi got to meet Hideo Kojima.
No, this
I know that
game is
Hideo Kojima showed up at one of those Ace Attorney conferences for Ace Attorney 6.
Well, let's consult Miss Scientist over here. Emma, about this mug. There's a pale blue, residue on the rim.
Residue. Ah! Oh, that! Yes, well, it's just a rumor.
Go on.
But I've heard that there's a kind of coffee called Blue Mountain.
Are you reading my mind? I'm pretty sure it isn't actually blue, Emma.
There is a blue tea that exists.
Oh, is there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, alright. Okay, you got me. That's left over from my testing spray.
Emma, you're awesome and all, but you're a horrible liar.
Forensic science? I knew your hobby was behind this somehow, Emma.
It's not a hobby. And you sound a lot like your father, Jesus Christ.
So what kind of scientific stuff were you up to?
We were, talking. Yeah.
This spray, that's what. It turns blue when it touches poison.
So the poison that killed the victim was on this mug?
Mm-hmm. That's right. See? It wasn't in the coffee.
It was on the mug.
So all the guy had to do was just drink out of the other end and he would have survived.
The killer applied it to the rim of the mug itself.
It makes a bit. It reminds me of how to say this when I actually find the English title.
If he put his lips on it, he could have easily have gotten some residue inside.
Wow, science is amazing.
Indeed it is.
Yes. Sure, it certainly is helpful. I mean, I'm a science fiction guy myself, but still. Maybe Emma'd be willing to help us out a bit more.
Maybe.
But
It's your
I've just
hair.
given up.
You should try buttering her up, Apollo.
Offer her snackoos.
Yes.
Certainly worth talking to her a bit more. About poison analysis.
What was that, Snaku Bank?
Juicy, why you put me under this?
I was afraid you were going to ask about that.
Trussy's bored.
She says with an ever-knowing smile. See, this
Like
solution is used to test for atroquinine.
Atro, huh?
Atro, what?
You ever want a life-saving funny names be a doctor? Atroquinine, the deadly poison found in the autopsy, which will not be updated, thank you very much.
Uh-oh, I know that spark in her eyes. She's getting excited. Best tread lightly.
It's one of the most virulent poisons, but it's absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show. So it slowly kills you, and you won't feel a thing for the first 15 minutes.
Well, I'll give it this is more exciting than this exact plot point was in Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah.
That's fine, really. We don't need all the gory details. Yeah, I've seen 2 John Woo movies, and well, 2 was the worst one.
I think I get it. You just spray the stuff on something you want to test, right?
Precisely. You can find even the slightest trace of poison with this.
Also, it would be nice to know the gory details, because it would be a lot more interesting than a lot of this.
I want to try too, Emma. Pretty please?
No.
Like,
You
seriously,
don't have
this
to
has been
ask
kind of a
twice.
drag, honestly, so far.
I already used it on everything suspicious, of course.
Yay!
Yeah.
Let's give it a whirl, Apollo.
God, what are you doing?
This is that's a big problem that Shiori brought up. This this game in general is very poorly paced.
I mean,
Well, I
let's
think
see,
this
let's
is
see
the
Apollo's
most-
reaction to this.
Like, I think this is the most
How's
noticeable
this
it's
for a
been.
reaction? Never do that again! I'm not poisonous!
Are
It's just
you
a-
sure about that?
Oh,
Some
the
might
irony.
disagree.
It's just
The
that Shiori, like
irony.
this game in particular, is so trigger happy with.
Tell that to those hapless witnesses of the stand.
Okay,
This
that
game
was
is
funny.
so trigger happy with meandering tangents and going off long tirades that have nothing to do with anything before we get back to the actual plot. It's just
More like for a case like for this particular case, it's more like establishing the main gimmicks. In this case, Emma's wacky scientific tools, which is
Like, Rise from the Ashes style.
But yeah, but they're taking so long.
Yeah, here's the difference. Rise of the Ashes, when we did do this stuff, it was rather more quick about it. Like, here...
We
they
got
go
to
on
show
the-
off that we're on the DS, and we have to show every aspect. We need to pattern everything. This is the future.
I know
actually
everyone's-
I actually wonder if it partially was Nintendo asking the game to be gimmicky.
Well,
That
sorry guys,
may
their
be the
reaction.
case, partially.
Ha! Case. Get it?
God.
I'm
I
sure
mean,
I haven't checked
you
out
know,
all
the
the
world-
likely spots.
You know, the Worldlands Review had tutorials that were quite meaty, but it made sense because the battle system of the Worldlands Review is incredibly unorthodox.
I guess part of the
Unorthodox,
reason
so
we
you
raise
really
an
need
eyebrow
something
here
like
is
that.
like, well, the thing about these things is like, well, their tutorial is literally for sections where you kind of only use these investigation stuff once. Like, yeah, you could argue it's similar to Rise from the Ashes, but first off, I could swear that there were definitely some times when we used some of these gadgets more than once, and secondly, they were more quick and more fun. I mean, yeah.
They kind of drag, though.
Not really, actually. I mean, like, well, the explanations for the stuff in Rise from the Ashes definitely went quicker than this. Like,
I mean, yeah, but it was
Oh.
like, what? It got to a point. It's like, I just want to move on.
There's poison.
Oh.
There's poison on the photo.
A reaction, Apollo?
ah! Where?
Jesus.
Where?
Too busy eating to notice.
The inside of that cute little frame. Look.
Thank God you're wearing gloves.
Yeah, but are they latex gloves?
Probably not.
Well, would you look at that? Nice going, Trissy. You really are your father's daughter.
I'm known to work magic.
You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. How much more interesting would this have been if Trucy was actually the protagonist? Like, imagine.
Never mind that I was the one who found it.
Oh, right, you're here, Apollo.
Why would the inside of that frame have poison on it? God damn it.
I mean, I hate to admit it, but the concept of a lawyer who's both a magician and a lawyer, and also the descendant of Phoenix Wright, sounds kind of more interesting. Sorry, Apollo.
So, Emma, I was wondering.
I mean, isn't that basically Lady Layton in a nutshell?
What's the story about this reporter that came here for a storyline of the crime?
The descendant of a previous protagonist?
Oh, that.
Depends. I'm afraid I can't tell you because he's going to be a witness tomorrow here, the reporter.
Yay.
I thought so.
To his
We don't
credit,
even know-
to his
we don't
credit to
even know what he
you,
looks like.
the reporter is one of the better characters in this game, despite what his initial impressions may give you. I'll never forget that face. But what was his name?
Angry Joe.
Oh, right! Brushel.
Park Breshel.
Well,
Marshall?
Sorry.
You'll see why he has that name.
Okay. Well, aside from if there's a reason aside of being a pun or something.
Yes. He's after a scoop to sell to the papers.
So a reporter comes in for an interview with a painter.
That sounds the setup for a joke.
His first interview ever, and that night he's killed. Seems strange to you?
Really strange.
Ain't life
Doctor Strange. Dun, 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 dun.
It does raise a few questions, but not too many.
Thank God. I'd like to speak with this reporter if I could.
Well, use your 2 feet and your detective skills. Well, I hear he's on the beat today, too. He said something about covering a magician.
Oh.
Magician? If it's not Trucy, that leaves only one other person.
Yes, but there's only one other magician in this entire world.
It wasn't Valiant Grammary by any chance, was it?
Yeah, something like that. He's got some big show lined up, I hear.
I was just gonna say, unfortunately, that companion Mr. Wright told me he had one time was his son's village somewhere. So he's out interviewing Valiant Grammary. Yeah, that could be. I could. Mind you, I don't think a running gag of Apollo thinking Maya's powers are like magic would be all that clever. Never mind.
Here, I'll give you that reporter's card if you want.
Emma, that card is dirty because your hands are dirty from snack.
Also, it looks like the gun barrel for a James Bond title sequence.
Oh, it's okay. The snackus are
It's because it's similar to a photographic machine. The moment where the shot is.
So that's what that thing was all along. Someone trying to shoot Bond. It was just someone trying to take a picture, and Bond don't like that. Even though
It kind of makes sense for a spy.
But the entire,
Anyway.
the entire world knows who James Bond is, so he's not a very good spy.
Anyway, see you for the next.
See you then.
Alright, see you for the next one, which is hopefully not too long.
Hopefully.
See ya.
Ta-ta.